Hi everyone, given that function f and g as follow, so function fx is a quadratic function where you take all the real number, means whole piece of the graph you are going to use it. Meanwhile, for function gx is e to the power of negative x, where x is a positive real number only. So this is not the whole piece of the graph, it's just taking from the positive number, means it's 0 to infinity. For the first questions, determine whether f is one-to-one function or not. Give your reason. So we're using algebraic method. Fx1 equals to fx2. We substitute x1 into the function. It will be x1 squared minus 1, then x2 squared minus 1. 1 and 1 we simplify. Then when you want to move your square to the right hand side, remember you have two answers. Quadratic, when you're solving, always got two answers. So it will be positive, negative x squared. Then square root and square we can cancel. So which means that x1 can be equals to x2. Another answer, x1 equals to negative x2. So we have two answers. With this kind of situation, we can say that x1 is not equals to x2, one answer only. Therefore, this function is not one-to-one function. So our reason is because we're getting two answers. This is not only equals to x2 only. Then afterward, question B, to find G inverse. So G inverse x equals to x. Our domain here taking the value of positive value, it doesn't affect us, but it maybe affects our domain and range later. So we just calculate as usual. Substitute G inverse inside the function of G, it will be e to the power of G inverse. So when I move the e exponential to the opposite, it will become ln x. Then G inverse will equal to negative ln x here. Then we calculate for G inverse composite with fx. Fx is x squared minus 1. And we substitute into the function of G inverse. So here we have this. And then we continue here. Determine the domain of G inverse. The domain of G inverse, I'm going to refer to the range of the function. Alright, so we start with the function of G. Domain of Gx, we can see here, it is positive. So it is 0 to infinity. Then, when I want the domain, I need to refer to its range. So look at our exponential. Our exponential, when we cutting it to, when we taking the positive part only, we see what is the remaining part of the graph. So 0 to infinity means your graph is going to the right here. And then range. If you normally, we draw the normal graph first before we cut out. So if we're doing range, we close out the exponential, we get 0 to infinity, but not included. So which means that our exponential graph is going up, and it is power of negative, so it is shooting to the left. Asymptote is 0, so it is like this. Therefore, when the value of r here is only the involving positive value, means we are taking this side only. Therefore, our range here no longer taking the whole function. It is maximum here how much? How many here? Y intersect point intersect when x equals to 0. So e negative 0 equals to 1. So the range of the graph here, the range of the graph here will be minimum at 0, maximum just until 1, intersection point include. Therefore, when we want to find the domain of G inverse, we refer to the range. It will be 0 until positive 1 only.